In this video, we will discuss about the motional EMF. Motional EMF means we are inducing a EMF by making this rod in motion. Now, to understand it, I consider this is a situation in which the magnetic field is uniform. It is represented by B and direction is represented by the cross, that is pointing into the plane of this paper, that is downward. Now I consider this is your rectangular diagram of one side is represented by L and other by B. The one rod of this diagram is movable on either side. Let it is moving with a velocity V on the left hand side as shown in this figure. Now according to the Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, the induced EMF is equal to the negative of change in magnetic flux with the change in time. Now, if you are able to calculate the change in magnetic flux, we are able to calculate the induced EMF. So now let us calculate this change in magnetic flux. So here, let at any time equal to 0, the rod was at this position. So what is the magnetic flux at this time? When time at t equal to 0, the magnetic flux is given by, we know the magnetic flux is Bs cos of theta. So where theta is angle between magnetic field and surface area. The direction of this surface area is always perpendicular to its plane. Let it be in the downward direction, and the magnetic field is also in downward direction. So theta is equal to 0 degree. So as the cos theta will become 1. So put the value. So induced. So the magnetic flux becomes Bs. S is a surface area. So I want to calculate the value of this surface area. So surface area at this t equal to 0 will be equal to length into breadth. So it is BLB, small b. So this is your magnetic flux linked at t equal to 0. Now I want to calculate the magnetic flux after some time. For a small interval of time, let it be delta t. This rod has moved to this situation or to this position. So it has covered a distance of delta x. So after delta t time, the magnetic flux, I take it as a final and this is our initial. So the total flux final will be equal to Bs cos of theta. Again theta is equal to 0, so cos theta is equal to 1 because we are not changing the direction. So again, since here the surface area has been changed because the rod has moved to this position, so I take this surface area as a S dash. So it becomes Bs dash. Now since B is same, that is uniform, it remains B, and the surface area now, so we know that it's length into breadth. So length is here L, and what is its breadth? So breadth here it is this much. So here it has covered this distance as a x. So this total was B, that is B minus delta x. So it is B minus delta x. So opening the bracket a little bit, so what we get? It is BLB. It is BLB minus BL delta x. So this is your magnetic flux linked for this rectangular diagram after time delta t. Now to calculate the induced EMF, so we put both the values in this above equation. So what we get? That is equal to the magnetic flux final minus magnetic flux initial divided by the time interval. So put the value. So what we get? So magnetic flux final is this much, BLB minus BL delta x minus the magnetic flux initial. So that is BL small b divided by the time interval. So that is delta t. So see here, BLB and this BLB we get cancelled out. So we are left with this much only. So this means this is minus minus become plus, and BL delta x divided by delta t. So what this term is basically, delta x means distance covered in this time interval. So this is a distance covered in this much time. That is nothing but it is a velocity of this rod. So if we put the value, so what we get? BLV. So this is your induced EMF for this rectangular digraph. So this is your motional EMF. So whenever the numericals comes regarding the motional EMF, we use this formula. The condition is that the whole rod should in motion. So now if you see this formula we have calculated by using Faraday's law. If I use or if I take a different picture of it and then we calculate this formula, so you will find that the same answer will come. So let us see now. So I'm doing with the second one. See here. So for that I consider a uniform magnetic field which is pointed into the plane of this paper and it is represented by capital B. I consider this is a rod, same rod which is movable in above example. I take this rod of length L, same, and this rod is moving along the same direction with a velocity v. Is any induced EMF is produced in this particular rod? So to see it, let us see this picture. So we know that this rod is having lot of free electrons. As this rod is in motion, since this is having a lot of electrons, free electrons, as this rod is moving in this direction, the electron inside this conductor will also move along this direction. So we can say that this electron is also moving along this direction. So we know that if any charged particle which is moving in magnetic field will experience a Lorentz magnetic force, and the Lorentz magnetic force is given by QVB sine theta, and the direction is given by right hand thumb rule by rotating the fingers from velocity to magnetic field. Now for this particular situation, for an electron, so Lorentz magnetic force will be equal to the charge, that is E minus E, velocity with which it is moving, that is V, magnetic field in which place, that is capital B, and sine theta. So here if you see here, the electron are moving along this direction and the magnetic field is pointing downward. So they are making an angle of 90 degree. So I put sine 90 is equal to 1. So this is your force experienced by an electron when a rod is in motion. So here we want to calculate the induced EMF. So we know that induced EMF, or it is also a potential, is equal to the amount of work done per unit charge. So here I want to calculate the work done. So work done is what? Force multiplied by the distance divided by charge. Charge of electron is minus E. Now here what is the force? Force experience is minus EVB. And what is the distance? So see here, if an electron is lying at this one end, so when he want to travel whole distance, so how much distance he has to cover? So it is, that is L. So I write it here is L divided by minus E. Minus E get cancelled out. So we are left with induced EMF is equal to BLV. So this is your induced EMF produced when this single rod is in motion in a magnetic field. If you see the previous one result, it is found to be in same value. So the real picture of Faraday's law is just nothing, a different thing. Now here I want to calculate in which direction the electron will be. See here, if blue pen represents the direction of motion of electron and this black pen represents the direction of magnetic field. So rotate your finger, cross product says rotate your finger from velocity to magnetic field. So this is velocity to magnetic field, velocity to magnetic field. So see here, velocity to magnetic field. Thumb will represent direction of force. Since electrons are negatively charged particle, so the direction get reversed. So because this formula is for only for positive charge, so the force becomes in upward direction. So all the electron get collected on this end. So this become negatively charged and it becomes positively charged. And this separation of positive and negative charge creates a induced EMF or potential difference. And this potential difference is given by BLV. Now further, I want to calculate the current. If suppose I connected with any rod, so what should be the current in this one? If R is a resistance, if small r is a resistance of rod, then what should be the current? So in that case, the current will be equal to how much? That is induced EMF divided by the resistance. So it is BLB divided by R. Now, what is the force experienced by this rod? So force experienced by the current carrying rod, by the rod or current carrying rod, that is carrying a current I. So that force is equal to, we know the force is equal to how much? That is ILB. So since direction of current and magnetic field are both 90 degree, so I am simply writing ILB. So here put the value of current. So what do we get? That is equal to B square L square V divided by R. So this is your force experienced by the rod. If you find a direction of this force, you find the direction of this rod is along this direction, in the opposite direction. So you have to supply some extra energy to push this rod along the velocity. So this force is making, or it is applied in the opposite direction. Now, so what during this process, I have to supply an extra energy to make this rod to move in this direction. So what is my power consumed? The power consumption is equal to power, we know that it is force multiplied by velocity. So here force is B square L square V divided by R multiplied by velocity. So after solving it, what we get? So power consumed during this process, B square L square V square divided by R. So this is your power consumption to make this rod to move along the direction of velocity. So this is your all about this much. Thanking you.